Today, I want to talk about how to finish a book when you keep getting ideas for other projects. Let's dive in. So this is a very common place that we can find ourselves getting into. I've certainly been there many times myself, where we've got a current work in progress and then suddenly we get a shiny new idea and there's this sense of like, oh, this feels different. This idea feels like the kind of idea that I am actually going to be able to finish. And so it's very compelling. So I really want to talk first of all about what's actually going on in this situation and the mistake that we can make. So the mistake that we can make is that we believe it. When this new idea comes in, we genuinely believe that this one's going to be different because we've got this current work in progress that we're struggling to finish. And we believe that this new idea is going to be an idea that we will be able to finish. But my friends, how often has it happened? How often has it happened that that new idea has come in and it's felt very alluring and we've jumped on it, and then maybe a month later or several months later or a year later, we find ourselves in exactly the same position. But it's slightly worse because the unfinished works in progress they're beginning to rack up, aren't they? So what's actually going on in this moment is very similar to what happens when an animal gets trapped. So let's create an analogy here. You've got an animal like a really cute fluffy bunny rabbit that's bouncing through the woods and it's really, really happy. That's you when your work in progress was a really beautiful creative project. Suddenly the rabbit is bouncing through the woods, but then it gets its paw trapped in a snare. This snare was hidden in the undergrowth and it shuts over the rabbit's paw and the rabbit is trapped. So that's what happens when suddenly in your work in progress, you become stuck. You become bored with the project. You begin to doubt that it's even a decent project. You fall out in love with your work in progress. You start to hate it. So you're caught in this trap. So what does the rabbit do when it's caught in this trap? It tries to get out of the trap. So that's what your brain is doing because you're finding yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. It's uncomfortable, it's stressful, it's depressing, you're not enjoying it, you're trapped. So the brain, the mind, is trying to do whatever it can to get out. And that's why it generates this lovely, shiny new idea, because that is the promise of freedom. And the mistake that we make is to believe that that is going to set us free. But what it does is it simply creates the cycle. So we jump on that new idea and we find ourselves later down the line, yet again, caught in another trap. Because what we haven't learned is how not to either get stuck in that trap or how to get out of that trap in a sustainable and lasting way. So that's what we're going to do with the second part of this process. Now that we start to understand, okay, I'm trapped with my current work in progress. I know that that shiny new idea is simply going to create another cycle. It's going to start to rack up unfinished projects. So it's going to start to feel more uncomfortable and more depressing. So what we want to do is to create a new way forward. So some of this is really around mindset. And if you're like, okay, I'm beginning to get an idea that my mindset is going to be a place that really needs work and you want to go deeper into that, you'll find a link below where you can discover more about the community that I'm running. And I'm running sessions every month specifically designed to help people finish a book. So if you're in that category and you like the idea of doing that mindset work and having that creative support, then check out the link below. I'll remind you about it towards the end of the video, but I just thought about it now, so I thought I'd mention it. So the mindset support is really important, but there's also a level of creative work that really wants to come into this too. So what we're doing here is we're understanding the feeling or the experience of this new idea, because that's essentially what the brain is coming up as the path to freedom. So it's offering this new path to freedom. But what we want to do is we want to take that path to freedom, but with our current work in progress, not taking up this shiny new idea. So what we do is we use the feeling or the experience of this new idea to remind us how we used to feel about our current work in progress. So essentially it's the rabbit reminding itself of how it used to be free, and in that way setting itself free. So you're imagining that the rabbit, through remembering how wonderful it was to be leaping through the woods, is going to open up the trap that it's caught in. So in the same way, you think about this new idea and you think about how it feels to be certain that you're going to finish it, and then you say to yourself, let me imagine feeling that way about my current work in progress. Let me transplant the experience that this new idea is giving me onto my current circumstances. So you start to imagine, like, really feeling the certainty of finishing the current project. You take this shiny new idea and you get a sense of the excitement that it brings you, like really coming into the body and being like, ooh, like, where am I feeling lit up right now? Perhaps you feel like a tingle in your heart, or perhaps you feel like an excitement in your fingertips, like a buzz or a flash in your fingertips, or it might be that your mind feels like it's lit up. And again, you're taking that experience and you're saying, I can also feel this way about my current work in progress. So you're allowing that new idea to inform your current project, and really beginning to understand that you don't have to start writing this new idea, but you can be grateful for that new idea because it's helping remind you about how you once felt about your current project. And if you once felt that way about your current project, then you know you're capable of feeling that way, and therefore you understand that you can feel that way again once more. So two quite simple ways to start to begin to free yourself, so you don't need to have to go to a new idea, and to remind yourself that you can feel certain and excited about that current work in progress. And remember, I'm here to support you if you want to finish that book. So see the link below, which is going to tell you a little bit more about the community. You'll be able to sign up and watch the first video, which is literally a video called Finish Your Book. So it's pretty much designed for where you're at right now. If you're watching this video and you're struggling to finish that book, you'll be able to join us in the community live if you want, or just simply watch recordings. There's a free version, there's a paid version. So there's lots of different ways to make sure that you get the support that you need to absolutely make sure that this time the book gets finished. Drop your comments below, my friends. What did you learn from the video? Have you got questions? I love to hear from you. So shout me out, and do feel free to reach out below so we can engage in a conversation. Really enjoyed sharing this one with you today. Wishing you a fantastic rest of week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.